Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone at Malvern. I'm very proud to be sharing a stage with Katy and Stephanie. So, and this is great. If you need to warm up in here for a while, we got here a little early, and I was like, I think I'll go for a walk. It's balmy. So it's 30 below in Minneapolis right now. So, okay. So I'm going to be reading from a couple new poetry collections that I have about. One is called The Threatened Everything, and one is called Quitter, which sounds kind of optimistic to me, actually. So this poem is called The First Person, and my son makes a cameo in it, but it's outdated. He's no longer a ponytailed person. So the first person. You became the first person. It happened one night on a swing. You were a lonely first-person child. Then you got so big, you took airplanes. I became the first person. It was frightening. I hid under the stairs. Then I got so big, I turned the stars on and off with a switch. Under a Virgo moon, I had a baby. He became the first person. He got so big, he grew a ponytail, got a girlfriend. They were both the first person. They escaped to the forest. They wanted better. The forest was in danger. Its secrets were retreating. The couple hid some forest secrets inside themselves, and they came back to visit. We all became the first person. The whole city became the first person. Then all the cities, even the barely imaginable cities from the National Geographics. Our retreating secrets got so big inside us, we closed down the bars. We stopped the doom calendar, and we loved ourselves. All around the globe, we loved our first-person selves, and we didn't die. And we didn't die. Then we died. The next three poems are inspired by, I've been writing a lot more ekphrastic poems. These three are specifically inspired by pieces by my husband, Jack Walsh, and I wish you could see them. So, desire in art. I wanted a flower, and then I realized I am flowers. I bloom a river's length. Call me lotus if you like. Call me foxglove. Danger, medicine, petals for everyone. So many silky, temporary costumes for sniffing. Once upon a time, I must have been nothing. Then I started being flowers underground. One first seedling in which I jetted to you by red eye. Yes, that means once upon a time I became buried, but I'm beyond that now. The clouds. I wanted spirit, and then I was haunted by phantoms and their jeweled privacies. I started being buried, flowers jetting. Husband said, baby, let's not cater to the ghost anymore. Afterwards, a whole family of clouds moved into our home. We herded them from room to room. We were happy. It was okay that we never knew when it might storm. My crow wife, Renee Descartes. I wanted awareness, and then my third eye popped out. A crow was right on time to scavenge it. Hey, I said, feeling territorial. We're married, Crow said, so this eye is half mine. She popped out her own third eye and exchanged her inner vision for mine, as if two rings. Then she swallowed the third eye that had been mine, and I saw her inside out. When she flew away, something inside me felt like a jetted seedling, like it started being flowers underground. I write a lot of odes to things, like in Ghost Fargo, I have a whole section of odes to things that I actually have a pretty problematic relationship with, that I just try to kind of, be at peace with. Like one is Ode to My Weltschmerz, which is a German term for comparing the way the world really is for the way you kind of wish it was. And one is like Ode to Sloth, and one is ode to falling below the radar of the gods. But I keep writing them. That's, you know, so there are a lot of things I have uncomfortable relationships with, I guess. So, so this one is called Ode to the Romance of the Thief. And the thief is always my brother in poems. So, but if he were hungry, the thief, or his children were hungry, who said he has children? Better if he has, the thief, stolen the taste from your supper. With his lean disdain, like a crow, the thief has liberated us from a bit of our excess. The thief, so intimately sliding his hand in your dark pocket. The thief, growing a beard for a portable hideout. The thief strolling eternally away. His getaway, the thief's, will it end clumsily, a mistake, a pearl brooch for his mother's birthday, who said he has a mother? Better if the thief retreats into night. Close your curtains, there's a raccoon in the alley. The thief looks right through you to your most treasured object. The thief is loyal to his own private loyalties, we assume. Who said he has a privacy? The thief that didn't belong to one of us first. And this is Ode to Hungry Ghosts. Do you know hungry ghosts in Buddhist philosophy are, like, there's a bardo, there's a place you can go after death while you wait, and it's hungry ghosts have these enormous bellies that are always empty, they're always starving, but they have really long necks, and then their mouths are like needle thin, so they're always just ruled by their hunger, basically. So it can be a place you go after death, or it can just be a part of us, you know, like a part of our functioning now. So this is Ode to Hungry Ghosts. Once a golden eagle pecked a roadkill fawn, and we passing tourists felt such embarrassment for having witnessed the unregal moment of bird. Now we are witnesses, and all witnesses are homesick for a shared dominion, a constant place we aren't. Oh, the safety of romancing thoughts, brothers and sisters, the purity of entertaining vague longings, including but not limited to the temporary, unconditional love of strangers when we're drunk. Who is master of the full-length judgment hour? Or, more importantly, who isn't her own lucky grasshopper in the clutch of her own clever crow? Legs open, unladylike. Here we shall build a lean-to upon a once was. Baby, the babies are gone, grown. But tonight is a ghost whisperer. Let's give it our ears. Let's set up camp and give to the fire our whole princely, slavering want. Chorus the stunted yachts threading out from our needle-eye mouths. We gravel knee our motherland. We are patriots, brothers and sisters, and our country's flag is an empty beak. It's kind of funny, you know, to pick out your poems that you're reading a week before and then know that like your other poems are 1,600 miles away. I don't know. So, I'm very committed to these, but I'm like, oh, sometimes I kind of mix it up at the last minute. So this, Dobby Gibson. Any fans of Dobby Gibson in the room? Okay. All right, yeah, good. Me too. He's a pal of mine, another person who lives in the frigid cold, who knows why, when he's not teaching here now. And so his poem, Beauty Supply in It Becomes You, is the direct influence on this poem. So it's about his commute on the bus every day, back and forth to work, and this is Ode to My Commute. So, of course, the first line is stolen. You'll know that right away. So, midway on our life's journey, I find myself halfway to work again with a disproportionate commute. The car radio broadcasts an ad for a tinnitus medication called Quietus. I am headed in to teach Act 1, Scene 3 of Hamlet to my business students. The prince is about to give his most famous soliloquy. You know how it begins. 2/3 through, he'll add, "Who would bear the whips and scorns of time, when he himself might his own quietus make with a bare bodkin?" It must be torture to live with a constant ringing in your ears. It must be rotten to be fired when your boss learns you named a medication another word for death. If history repeats, my students will inform me that Hamlet's speech is really depressing. Sometime after that, I'll drive home the other way down Hennepin Avenue, back past an abandoned gas station where a guy set up a makeshift flower shop. 20 years ago, he bought a dozen red roses for a girl, and when she stood him up, he sold them off, bud by bud. We can sell the blooms we've been loved with forever, but the cash will never love us back. I'll pass my students' homes all along this route through the metro area. Most have suffered, don't want to think of depressing things. They prefer to think of the big game and of the innocent beauty of their children. Why ask them to do otherwise? On a related note, please never say sweets to the sweet when you're giving a gift. It's what Queen Gertrude says as she throws flowers into Ophelia's suicide grave. Here's a grave near the fence of one of the 3 cemeteries I pass twice a workday, whose headstone is decorated seasonally, birthday balloons in spring and pumpkins with the falling leaves, as if the marker of a man's death were another room where his loved ones could live. If I were my students, I'd admit I'm being really depressing, thusly dismissing the discomfort of this line of thought, or of the graves I refuse to visit, obstinately conjuring up faces instead, as long and as accurately as I possibly can. Or just as I try to deny how filling my single gas tank contributes to our country's great glut, but I've got to earn a living, says me and everyone. Denial is a different kind of ringing in our ears. Language can be another word for loss, and loss for language. There's no teaching what used to teach, how to live with either. Okay, this one's scary for me because I always try to write a kind of a birthday poem or a beginning of the year poem. My birthday was just a couple days ago. So like last year I wrote a cento, which is stealing lines, from a bunch of other people. So that was easy. And this year I tried to do it just from a tarot reading. And I'm not sure yet if it reads like the poem I want it to. I like it where it is right now, and I guess I always want to make myself nervous at reading, so I'm going to read it. But I feel like it has to have a Waffle House in it somewhere, so if it ever shows up anywhere and it has a Waffle House in it, then I know it'll be done. So, let the tower topple. Let's start saying true things in public. How can a wheel be upside down? A devil will explain in detail, God, how he loves his own voice. Some of us are comfortable enough in our private homes, nursing black pastures, scrolling through personal lists of temporary fixes. We cannot be all light all the time. How can a wheel be upside right? Trying to thrive in a broken system has caused death. Silence is a virtue, humility is, says the one who just keeps talking. You cannot ask that dude politely. Truth will feel so clumsy at first, we'll want to cut out our own tongues. We can, but let's not. I think this is the last. I see that it is the last poem, actually. So I wrote a whole bunch of poems called The Laughing Club. It's a section, and I'm really fascinated with laughing. There's kind of that Abderian laughter, that really dismissive, and it allows you not to really feel anything. You just laugh things off, right? And I'm not interested in that, but laughter as like a rebellious act or just extreme joy seems pretty rebellious. So, but there's an actual laughter epidemic that happened in Tanganyika in 1962. The stories are all pretty various, but this is based on a real happening. So it was very post-colonial era. So the shyest girl tried to stop laughing first. It caused a milk snort sound the whole class noticed. When she didn't die humiliated, she didn't stop laughing. Her friends, their braids and plaid uniforms quaking, they were in eruption. The teacher shouted stop, which struck them silly. Then the whole class became a wall cloud, dispersed down the hallways and through the entire student body. Stop, yelled the headmaster. The children possessed by an unpermitted vocabulary. The children sent home, a headwater grotesque. The parents caught it from the children they were trying to scold. Why, they thought, why doesn't laughter rhyme with daughter? Couldn't reconcile. Don't bring your disease back here, said the school board. The quarantined people laughed till their hearts fluttered. Weeks, months, broken ribs. The village colonized by laughter, till it wept, till it puked, till doctors were called. Doctors tainted with laughing, the candle power of it, the brave alliance of it, origin laughter, genesis laughter. Is this joy? Is this joy when you are birthing a thunderstorm and you cannot stop? Thank you.